At first, Priya almost laughed when she saw the number. $50 a month. That was it. Not enough to feel impressive. Not enough to brag about. Not enough to look like a serious step toward wealth. But small does not mean meaningless. Sometimes the future begins with an amount so modest that only patience can reveal its power. Priya had spent years telling herself the same story. I'll start investing when I earn more. It sounded reasonable, responsible even. But the truth was uncomfortable. If she waited for the perfect moment, she might never begin. And in investing, waiting is not neutral. It has a cost. So she started with $50 a month. That amount would not change her life in a week. It would not even change her month. But it changed something more important: her process. She stopped seeing investing as something reserved for rich people. She began seeing it as a habit. And habits are where wealth often begins. Investing small amounts consistently is powerful because it removes pressure. You do not need to predict the market perfectly. You do not need a giant salary. You only need repetition. A small amount invested regularly can become meaningful over time because the habit keeps going long after motivation disappears. At first, Priya worried that $50 was too little to respect. But then she realized something important. Respect does not come from the size of the amount. It comes from the discipline behind it. That small transfer every month was no longer just money. It was proof that she trusted her future self. This is where compounding becomes real. The first few months look slow. The first year may look modest, but time begins to do the heavy lifting. The earlier you start, the more room your money has to grow. Even small contributions can become more powerful when they have years to work for you. People often admire the person who invests a large amount all at once. But there is another kind of advantage: the quiet advantage of consistency. A person who starts with $50 and never stops may outperform the person who keeps waiting for the perfect time. Why? Because starting small gives time a head start. Priya no longer asked, "Is this enough to matter?" She began asking, "Is this enough to begin?" That shift changed everything. It turned investing from a giant decision into a manageable one. And manageable decisions are the ones most people can repeat. If you think you need more money before you start, try a smaller number than you think you should. It does not have to be $50. It only has to be real. Choose an amount you can repeat monthly without stress. The goal is not to feel rich today. The goal is to build a future that gets stronger because you began. Starting small is not a sign of weakness. It is often the smartest beginning, because wealth is rarely built by one dramatic move. It is built by ordinary decisions, repeated long enough to matter. Priya's $50 was not the whole story. It was the beginning of one. And that is the real lesson. Small amounts can change everything when time, consistency, and belief are on your side.